Today we will be doing a brake job on a 2009 Honda Accord. This step is pretty self-explanatory, but remove your front wheels so you can access your calipers and rotors. Next, you will see my dad retracting the calipers by placing a screwdriver between the rotor and prying towards him. This just makes it easier to remove the caliper and later put it back on. Now I'm showing you the two bolts that hold the slide pins for the caliper, and I'm going to be removing those. Now that I have the caliper slide bolts removed, I'm going to remove the caliper and hang it up here just to avoid putting pressure on the brake line. So I'm just going to hang it up out of the way. Next, I'm going to be removing the wishbone clips. This just helps hold the pads from rattling when you're driving. And then pop those old pads out with a screwdriver. And they're quite thin, as you can see, that's why we're replacing them. Now I'm going to remove the caliper bracket bolts, and as I am showing you here, there are these large bolts on the back. I believe they are 17 millimeter. Now I'm going to remove the screws that are holding the brake rotor on. As you can see, we are missing one, but I'm going to be using an impact screwdriver, so make sure you have the tip of the screwdriver in there correctly. Then whack it with a hammer and it should pop right off. Now you can remove your old rotor. If off, you may need to whack it with a hammer a few times and then install your freshly cleaned rotor. And now here you can see I'm reinstalling the caliper bracket with those large 17 millimeter bolts on the back of the rotor. Now you should have a packet that looks like this in your new box of pads, it is a lubricant for the brake pads to help with seizing. We do not use that because we just have another large bucket of this purple stuff, but you will be applying your little packet in the same areas where I'm putting the purple lubricant. So you will be applying it in all of the areas where the pads will be moving and you do not want them to seize up. And now I will apply it to the pads in that same spot, sort of where they slide into the caliper bracket. Please do not put it on the back of the pad that does not touch the piston, or put it on the pad surface. So this pad has a squealer and you want to put that on the inside. This just lets you know when your brake pads are getting low. That little piece there will touch your rotor and start squealing. Make sure you also paint the side of your brake pad that will be touching the caliper piston. This helps to reduce it from sticking to the piston and helps the longevity of your brakes. I'll be doing the same thing to the outside pad here. Paint the part that goes into the bracket, but this time we don't have to paint the outside because it will not be touching the piston. Then pop them in there, and of course get purple stuff all over your hand. Now, I completely forgot to put the wishbone clips in, so I did end up taking the caliper all the way off and reinstalling these, but it's important that you put these in, so I'm just showing you here on the other side. Pop the wishbone clip into those little holes there. This helps reduce vibrations when your brake pads are not being used, like you're going down the road. Just kind of holds them into place. They may seem like a very small piece, but they do a lot. So now I'm unhooking that caliper that I hung up earlier to keep it out of the way. And because I retracted the caliper earlier, it should just slide right over the new brake pads. Just like that. Now I will be reinstalling the caliper slide pin bolts. Can be a little tricky to get those lined up, but once you get them lined up, tighten them all the way. And Kit Kat brake. Shop Dog Sadie says hello. Please subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and we'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching. Bye.